And I want to welcome everybody. This is our webinar, Attract More Funding with a New 2025 Seal of Transparency. And I'm so glad you could join us today. And welcome. I'm Dave Holmes. I'm the Educational Programming Manager in our Cleveland office. And I'm joined today by Tracy Kaufman. Tracy.
I'm Tracy Kaufman. I am the Educational Programming Manager based out of New York.
And we'll be taking you through this particular webinar. We've also got backups from a number of Candid staff who are going to be answering your questions, responding to that, and making sure that we get the questions to answer that you ask us. So we're so glad they could all be here. Now, who are we? We are Candid. Candid is an organization that started 6 years ago out of two other organizations, older organizations. One was Foundation Center, collecting information on grant making and private foundations and teaching people how to write grants and search for potential funders. Foundation Center was around since the 50s collecting this information. 6 years ago, we partnered with another organization called GuideStar, guidestar.org. GuideStar is now part of Candid, and we're going to be talking about the resources that GuideStar shares for the rest of this presentation. But GuideStar lists all 1.9 million nonprofits in the United States. So if you are looking to find a 501c3 nonprofit, that's where you would want to go, and that's where your Candid profile is. Candid is really about making sure that you get the most important information about the nonprofit world, about what's happening today. Certainly a lot of things in the news, a lot of information about programs being cut and funding being unavailable. I encourage you to take a look at our Candid website for the latest information, in particular, our Candid Learning site, which has an insights blog with lots and lots of great information and free trainings on all different subject areas. So if you are interested in learning more, please do check that website out. In addition to Candid.org, we have partners across the country. We also have partners that use our resources, and these are just some of them. And Tracy will be talking about this in a little bit as well. But basically, all of these partners use Candid's website and look at Candid's profiles to really understand the nonprofits in the world, including many donor-advised funds, people that are looking to give to nonprofits often use this, and other technologies use us as well, including Facebook. So what we try to do is try and help you get information out about who you are. And this is particularly difficult when you are trying to fundraise as a new nonprofit, as a growing nonprofit. Some of these challenges are probably things that you have to deal with. Donors don't know who you are, or you need to raise money, but you don't know any rich people, or you're new to fundraising and you don't know where to begin. A great place to begin is your Candid profile. The thing about Candid seals is you earn them by updating your Candid profile. And just briefly, your Candid profile, which you can find by going to the Candid website, gives donors the information they need to guide giving decisions. So that's the material that people find when they search for you using our resources. It powers the different giving platforms, as I mentioned, all of those different partners that use it. And it looks different for them when they are trying to decide who they're going to give to. For example, if you've ever done a Facebook fundraiser, this is kind of the way that it looks, where you go into Facebook and you say, I'm going to do a fundraiser, maybe for my birthday, and I'm going to pick a particular nonprofit to fundraise for. All the details on that nonprofit come from your Candid profile. And that's an important thing that you might want to update so that it's the most accurate. So if somebody's trying to fundraise for you, they see your essential information. Similarly, donor advised funds, people who take their money and they take it to an investment place like Fidelity or Vanguard, and they use that and they say, here's my money. I want to give donations to my favorite nonprofits. I want to recommend that you give to a particular organizations. They use the interface that this donor advised fund manager gives them, and it looks kind of like this Vanguard one here, where they choose a charity, and that information, all those lists of charities, all those details come from your Candid profile. So what we're going to do today is talk about candid profiles, talk about the profile editor and how you get in there, how to earn your 2025 seal of transparency, and then how to take advantage of all the different benefits of this. And I'm going to turn this over to Tracy Kaufman, who's going to take it from here. So thank you.
Thank you, Dave, and thanks everybody for joining today. Yeah, so let's go through what the current profile editor is like. It sounds like some of you are completely new to the process of claiming and editing a profile, but the majority of you have done this before. So let's walk through the process, but along the way, focus on what's different this year, because there are some differences. We have made updates based on user feedback in order to make the process of updating your profile simpler, more user-friendly, more intuitive, more streamlined. So all of these changes that we've made have been with that idea in mind. How can we make this a little more streamlined and intuitive a process? So major differences that you're going to find are, first of all, one-page editing, which will show you what that looks like in a moment here. All the edits happen on a single page. All-in-one benefits hub, so you can see all of the benefits attached to your profile updates in one spot. And if you need it, we also offer step-by-step guidance that can walk you through the process of these updates. So here you're kind of seeing the general idea of the one-page editing. So this is intended to just make your life easier and make it so that you don't have to click around between page after page, tab after tab, and be unsure of what's coming next or how much you still have left to go. So all updates for all seal levels are all in the same spot. While also along the side, you can kind of see what your progress looks like towards various seal levels. All-in-one's benefits hub, up near the top of your profile, you'll see like a little gift icon. You click on that and you'll be able to see all of the various benefits that are attached to your profile updates and see what is available for you. So that's also easier to find in all-in-one spot. Finally, step-by-step guidance. If you launch the seals guide that you always will have on the right-hand side of your profile editor, you don't have to do this, but if you know something about yourself and that thing happens to be that if it's possible to make a mistake and something or miss something, that you will make a mistake and forget something and miss something, if you have a tendency of that type, the seals guide is going to help you. This step-by-step guidance will walk you through and explain, here's what you need to do first for this seal level, here's what you need to do next, so that you know that you're not missing any required fields along the way or doing them incorrectly. So that is available to you as well to make this as successful a process as it can reasonably be. And then, of course, the more information that you add, the greater the seal of transparency that you are awarded. Starts with bronze and it goes all the way up to platinum. So bronze, I'll in a moment demo for you live the process of what it looks like to get a bronze seal of transparency. This is mostly about, like it says, making sure donors can find you, putting in information about your mission statement, your contact information, very simple, basic things. And what's new about this level, new for 2025, one change here is that you can now specify if you do not accept donations or if you prefer not to share donation information with candid partners such as like Facebook, Fidelity, the types of partners that Dave was just showing you that we share profile information with. The next seal up is the silver seal of transparency. This is where you can provide information about the programs that you operate, population that you serve, geographic area that you serve, things like that. That's also a pretty quick and simple, I think, seal to get yourself to. The fields for the silver seal of transparency for this year, they've been refined for some greater clarity. And then we get to the gold seal of transparency. This one, it's a slightly more involved in that it involves providing more financial information, details about your leadership, demographics, things like that. So a change for 2025 for the gold seal of transparency, board demographics are now required for you to provide, while at the same time, demographics for senior staff or general staff, those remain totally optional. When you get to the platinum seal of transparency, that's the top level. It's all about impact. Really telling the story of the success of the work that you do, the way it has results out in the world. So you're going to provide metrics here to tell that story of impact, which is really one of the most beneficial things you can do with your profile overall, given that funders and donors are looking at these things. And this year, reporting on key metrics has been refined so that you can better connect results to your specific programs. So, how do you get started in earning seals of transparency? First things first, for those of you who have not done this before, first you want to find your organization. So what you are going to do is you're going to go to app.candid.org, and I'm betting that link is finding its way into the chat sooner or later. App.candid.org. You're going to set up a free account being the keyword. Just set up a free username and password on the Candid site, and then you're going to do a search for your organization, either by name or by EIN. And when you find it and you click on the profile, you will find a little link up near the top that's going to say, hey, is this your organization? Click where it says, is this your organization? And then you're going to be able to fill out some basic fields to verify that you are a legitimate representative of your nonprofit. Our staff on the back end, not me personally, but our support staff, they will verify that, yes, this person is legit. They should be given editing privileges. They will approve you, and then you have access to begin the editing process. I will say, if you want this process to go as quickly and smoothly as it possibly can, when you're setting up your free account, if you can, try to use your work email address, like a .org email address, because then it's quicker and more obvious to us that you are on staff at your nonprofit. Like, it's not the end of the world if all you have available is a Gmail. It just might take a little longer. We might ask for a little more information from you to verify that you should be given editing privileges. But once you get in, you can start by getting a bronze seal of transparency. These seals are buildable. If you wanted to ultimately get to platinum, you would need to fulfill the requirements of the bronze, silver, gold, etc. first before you get there. And you don't have to do this all in one fell swoop. You can start small, claim your profile, just get to bronze, and then maybe come back the following day or the day after and try to get a higher seal of transparency. And you can just keep building upon these. So what's involved in the first level, bronze, that takes just a couple of minutes. Verify your organization's name, contact information, donation details, mission statement, contact name and email address for whoever the primary contact person is. Make sure you have a leader designated and put down what their role is. At the very least, even if you don't do anything else with your profile, it is worth it to get a bronze seal, because if someone just finds you on our site and decides that they want to donate to you, you want to at the very least make sure your contact information is up to date so that they're sending donations to the right place. So at the very least, it would be worth your time to do that. So at this point, I'm going to back out of the PowerPoint and show you what this looks like in real life. So let's exit here, go over to my browser. Hey, who's me? So you see right here, we're at app.candid.org. I am logged in. So here is where, if you didn't have your organization linked to you yet, you search for it here in the search box, name or EIN. And when you find it, click, is this your organization? And we can verify you. Once you've been approved, you're gonna take a little journey up to the upper right-hand corner here, this little icon. Click on it, go to view my organizations, and you will see them. First, we have Candid here, because I'm on staff at Candid. They already have a platinum seal of transparency, so they're good. But we are going to go to my other secret organization where I work in secret the rest of the time. That place is called Pancakes for All. Here they are. So here we are finding our way to my organization. I have been given editing privileges to this. Pancakes for All, because everyone deserves pancakes. And we do not have a seal of transparency. Here is what things look like so far. We have a little bit of information, but we could use a little bit more if we want to have a seal. So what we're going to do, up on the upper right-hand corner, the edit button. So first of all, we give you a little bit of information about who is going to see the information in your profile. So this is just so that you are well aware before you get in too deep. The information that you put into your Candid profile is, in fact, publicly available and visible to all. And in most ways, this is a positive thing. It increases your visibility in the eyes of funders, in the eyes of donors, and all the different partners who make use of our data. But if you find yourself we're in complicated times right now, to say the least. If you find yourself in a vulnerable position at any point where it is not in your best interest to have much information circulating about your organization, we can always help suppress your data temporarily if you need to. If you are in that kind of position, you want to email support@candid.org and they can help you out. And then once a moment of crisis has passed, you want to bring your data back up, you can do that with ease as well. So this is just sharing that information. Accept and dismiss. So at this point, here we are. If you wanted some step-by-step guidance to walk you through the process, you would click this yellow button that says Launch Seals Guide. But also at the same time, required fields for different seal levels are tagged here. So like anything that says bronze underneath, that is a required field for getting a bronze seal of transparency. Sometimes these fields might be empty and you need to fill them out. Other times, you might already have information pre-populated here, either if you'd already put something in, or in many cases, it would be pre-populated by IRS data. Oftentimes, what you're starting with is whatever came in automatically from the IRS. So anyway, Pancakes for All, yeah, that's our name. Don't wear it out. Scroll down and we take a look to see where is the next required field. Mission statement. We connect the people to the right pancakes that they need to thrive. That is still our mission statement, so we will leave that alone. Scroll down a little more. What subject areas do we work with here? Take a look at what it coded for you. Sometimes this might be pre-populated from the IRS. Take a look if you want to add anything to it. If you do, take a look in our drop-down menus and you can find all kinds of information you could add here. Let's say we're happy here. This one's a silver seal of transparency. Maybe we're not ready for that yet today. Keep going. Scrolling a little more. Contact information. So yeah, if someone finds you and they want to donate, you want to make sure, hey, did we move offices last year? If so, make sure that we're reflecting the current address. Want to make sure that those checks are sent to 1 Pancake Boulevard, right here in Griddle City. Keep looking down, make sure that your website is accurate, looks good. Keep going, here's more bronze fields. Here's the people information. In my personal experience, if there's an area that you might want to slow down and make sure you don't make a mistake, might be the people information. So they tell you what's required as part of this. So they want you to put down a leader. We have a leader, but in addition to a leader, they also want you to designate someone as the primary contact. So make sure you do that. That could either be a whole separate, like standalone person we could add, but you can also have someone hold double duty. Like maybe our leader is also our primary contact. In that case, we can check both boxes here. Just make sure you have a leader and you have a primary. And you're not done once you've done that. It's also going to require you to put down their role. We're going to say they're the main leader, and make sure their email address is in here. You don't have to put in the rest. You could, but they're not required fields. So let's put down, okay, let's put in my email, speaksforall.org. Beautiful. After you've put in your role and your email, remember to click next. At this point, it's going to prompt you to put in some demographic information about this person, which is also part of what's eventually going to go into getting a gold seal of transparency too. So you take a look here, and if you wanted to put in demographic information, you have all your options here. You can put whatever you want. If you are not in a position to currently collect demographic information about your leadership, you also have the option to decline to state, saying we do not collect this information. You can do that for whatever fields you need to. But whether you put in demographic details or you decline to state, either way, when you're done answering these questions, you want to remember to click done. That was where my first big mistake was when I first started doing this. I didn't remember to click done. So you click done, you're good. At this point, I think we are in a good position. Everything below here is a higher seal level. And you keep scrolling, and eventually you get to the bottom, and like there's no surprises. Nice, we know exactly what's expected of us. And along the way, you also get to see what is our progress like towards other seal levels here. Like for instance, we're surprisingly close to a gold seal of transparency just because we just put in those leadership demographic questions just now. So that saves us time in the future. And after we've done this, you don't want to forget to hit the publish button. You could save it for later if there's some question and you're like, I don't have that information right now. But if you're good to go, click publish. We will wait a minute while it works its magic. Here we go. Congratulations! 2025 Bronze Seal of Transparency. It says here that you can wait up to like 15 minutes for these changes to take place. So if you don't see them immediately, just like refresh the screen every couple of minutes. But like in my experience, it has generally been pretty much immediate. And so boom, here we are, a bronze seal of transparency. It will also send you an email at this exact same time that will similarly congratulate you on the bronze seal of transparency. And now let's just see, what does it look like now? It's not going to be drastically different from before because the bronze seal is a pretty simple seal here. You can see we have our EIN, there's our leader, here's our mission statement. Pay no attention to that compliance alert on the right-hand side. We're super legit, I swear. We're a real organization. We're full of pancakes. Here's our focus areas, population we serve. There's me, the leader, along with contact information and where you send that contact information, like when you want to donate, you want to write them some outreach. That is kind of what the bronze seal of transparency is going to look like. Now, if you did want to go further than this, if anyone kind of wants to see what does a platinum seal of transparency look like, let's just give you an example of that because I do also have access to Candid's profile. We're a nonprofit as well, and we have a platinum seal of transparency. So what does that look like? We got our platinum seal here. Some of this information is similar to what we provided in our other nonprofit. We've got some good IRS data that we find here. And we've got our focus areas. We've got our financial information. You could click here to get more financial information. You can learn about our programs. So here, we show a variety of programs. You do have the option, if you want to add photos and videos if you like, to really kind of use this to amplify whatever's on your website and your social media. Like, use it as a storytelling tool. Like, people are going to see this. funding information, staffing information. So that's kind of what it's going to look like once you take a look at a bronze seal of transparency, and you can click through these tabs to kind of rush ahead to different pieces of information that you might want to look at. But it really gives people the information that they need to make educated giving decisions. And isn't that what we want? We want people to make educated giving decisions. So once you've done this, I mentioned this before, but like, just remember to hit the publish button so that all of the hard work that you did will be actually visible to the general public. You'll see a notification that you did it. Published changes will be available pretty quickly, and at that point, you're in a good position to take advantage of any benefits that are associated with your seal level. So, in addition to the benefit of a job well done, like, there are other concrete benefits as well. So this is a completely free, relatively small thing that you can do that can only help you, that can only help build your visibility in the eyes of the exact donors and funders that you want to get in front of, and at the same time build your credibility in front of them as well. Because they want to be able to know you, understand the work that you do, and trust you before they make a giving decision. And this gives them all the information that they need to do that. And this is why it has been found that nonprofits that take the time to get a seal of transparency, that they receive more charitable contributions than nonprofits that don't have a seal of transparency. We did a study some years ago on this, and we're repeating the study this year to see any difference. And it also really saves time for you by putting all of your most crucial organization in one place. So if you're in the process of working with a funder about a grant application and they are asking you for a specific piece of information, if you have 10 different funders asking you all the same questions, you can direct them to your Candid profile, and all of that information will be there and current as of this year for them to browse at their leisure whenever they need to. It makes the funder's life easier, and therefore makes your life easier as well. Also, once you update your profile, you get access to your own shareable profile link that anyone you share it with can access, regardless of whether or not they have an account with Candid. So when you get your shareable profile link, you can put it in fundraising appeals. You can put it on your website. You can put it in your newsletter. Share it with donors at events. Wherever you want to be able to quickly bring people to all the essential information about the work that you do. Also, if you have at least a bronze seal of transparency, you are eligible to use Apple Pay for your donations. So once that happens, when you get your bronze seal, and you just saw how quickly that can be done, afterwards, contact your donation platform to enable Apple Pay. And if for one reason or another your donation platform isn't set up for Apple Pay, you can reach out to support@candid.org, and you can try to help facilitate the process for you. We have more information about that on our website. Also, here is a really great situation here. If we have any organizations on the line who have your annual revenue or expenses under $1 million, are kind of smaller nonprofits, I am betting quite a lot of you have annual revenue or expenses under $1 million. And you get at least a gold seal of transparency. You get a free 1-year subscription to the Foundation Directory Professional. So that is Candid's database of all of the grant-making foundations. It is normally a subscription database, and you get your own free annual subscription just by getting a gold seal of transparency. Platinum works too, gold or platinum. At that point, once you've updated, you go into the benefits section, you'll find a coupon code so that you can activate your free subscription. So this is specific to smaller nonprofits under $1 million. So anyway, some key tips for success along the way. Check out our best practices guide. We put out an updated version every single year. and it'll help you get clear on what is the specific information that you need to gather before you start updating your profile. Again, remember to hit publish when you're done, and make use of your full profile links so that people actually see your updated profile. Put it in all of your communications tools. Put it in your email signature. Give it to your board members. Have your board members put it in their email signature. Get as many eyeballs on your profile as you possibly can. So, okay. Any questions on stuff we've covered?
All right. Well, thank you, Tracy. We do have some questions that are coming in. If you have a question, make sure that you submit it through the Q&A. We don't have any audio for the audience on this particular program. Also, I want to make sure that you know if you're having some technical issues with your profile, you've gotten to a place where you've gotten stuck, where there's a question and you can't quite get that question answered, make sure you do send an email to support@candid.org. And one little tip for you, if you send in an email to support@candid.org, if you put webinar in the subject line, we'll pay very close attention to that. We'll know that you were here today and that you need particular assistance. You've seen our webinar and you know that you've gotten to a specific point. So make sure you put webinar in the subject line if you email support@candid.org for a question that you have today. Okay, so there's a number of questions that have come in. So I'm going to go through some of these. And basically, one of them is, how often should I update my profile?
I mean, ideally once a year. We have different seals for each year. So you will find some people who have completed profiles, but from last year, and theirs will say you have a 2024 seal of transparency, but it's best to update it once a year and get updated with a current this year seal of transparency. And after 2 years, they automatically expire altogether. So like if you last updated your profile in 2023, that seal is going away altogether this year if you don't get in there and update that information. So it's best of all to keep things fresh every year.
It's always good to have the most recent financials in there. For people that are trying to decide to give to you, they like to see those most recent financials. So you want to make sure that you update it anyway. So it's really good advice to get it updated as often as you can. One thing that I would also want to ask you, there's a number of questions that are related to the Go for the Gold program and some of the getting the foundation directory. What is foundation directory professional and what is it used for?
Yes, so the same way that funders are researching you using your Candid profile, you also have the opportunity to research funders. The foundation directory is Candid's database of like roughly 200,000 different funders. We got private foundations, we got grant-making public charities, we got corporate foundations and corporate giving programs, we got donor-advised fund platforms, all kinds of stuff so that you can do basically quick, simple, intuitive searches to see who is funding what so that you know who are the funders who you might want to approach. And the information, it is quite detailed and it is kept quite current. And it can really help you get ahead of things so that you don't have to just rely on publicly issued RFPs, because like a nonprofit cannot live on RFPs alone. So the foundation directory, it's a very comprehensive database of all of these funders. But because it normally has a subscription attached, and if you're a small nonprofit, you may or may not have the means to handle that subscription. If you instead get a gold or platinum seal of transparency, you will have access completely for free.
Great. Thank you so much. Now, this is about downloading some of the benefits. Where can I download my seal badge or the website widget? Where do we get those?
That would be in the benefits section. Like when you finished publishing, you click the little gift icon that's near the edit button that takes you to the benefits, and it'll run down all of the benefits that are available to you, and that includes all of the things that you need to kind of get the word out. Those widgets, access to like that little that little badge so that you can put on your website, here's my platinum seal of transparency. All of that stuff you will find in benefits.
Great. Thank you. A couple more questions. We just have a couple more minutes here. One of them is about sharing demographics. Do I need to put demographics in? Is it absolutely required?
I mean, you have to answer the questions one way or another, but for a variety of reasons, you might not have access to that demographic information, or you might not be in a position where, in the current political environment, you might be in a situation where maybe right now it's not really safe for you to share all of that demographic information. If there is a reason why you can't share that, you can always answer the question by saying, we do not collect such and such information about our leader or about our staff, etc. Like, you can always decline to state. It counts as an answer to the question.
Okay, great. All right, let's see, two more questions here. One is real quick. Can I use my GuideStar login for Candid?
I mean, for that angle of Candid, yes, absolutely.
Yes, that's should be straightforward there. And then another question is, why is the level of platinum better than gold, or how is each level of seal different? Is there a reason I should get platinum versus gold, for example?
Yeah, I mean, so different seal levels, I think, offer different things. Like bronze is just the bare bones basics. If people find you, are they going to the right place? That kind of stuff. But and like I think the gold seal of transparency is similar, but on a more elaborate level. That like when you really want to get under the hood and figure out the finances and staff composition of a place, where can you get all of that nitty gritty operational information? But then that doesn't tell the full story of why someone might want to support you, why someone might want to fund you. The ones that really flesh things out and make your organization bloom, those are your silver and your platinum. Silver one, you get to describe, here are the programs that we run so that you can catch people's eye. Ooh, that program, that's relevant to my interests. We care about that a lot too. We should look into this organization further. But oftentimes, before they actually make the decision, do we want to give to this organization or not? They want to know, okay, those beautiful programs you described, do they work? Do they actually make a difference? And that's where the platinum seal comes into play, because that displays right there on the screen what your impact is. What are the metrics that prove that your programs get results? And that's what seals the deal for a funder, for a big time donor. If they're like, oh, wow, this really does make a difference, that's what the platinum seal gets you. And so that's why it's worth your time, if you can, to get all the way to the top. You don't have to do it all in one day, but like it's in your best interest for sure.
Great. Thank you so much, Tracy. Thank you all for joining today. We're going to switch to the last slide here where you can fill in your survey. We thank you so much for whatever you can share. Thank you for all the great questions. And remember to email support@candid.org if you have additional questions, and make sure you get them answered. Put webinar in the subject line and we'll make sure it gets prioritized. Thank you, everybody, for joining today.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. Good luck with your updates.
We'll see you again.